Hello and welcome to another paint with me. Today is I'm not sure. Friday, May 22nd, 2020. So the last day of the week. Yay! Which means I'm super happy. So I have a full week's vacation ahead of me. And I am ready for it. Even though I did have quote unquote a couple, ooh shoot, I did a boo-boo. Put it on upside down. Even though I had quote unquote multiple weeks of vacation, those vacations were not, they were extremely stressful. So, it's just nice to have one that's scheduled by my work so that it can be less stressful. I wanted to go camping this week. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen with coronavirus. A lot of not going to happen because of this stupid thing, and it's ticking me off. So I did actually go out today and I learned how to put up my hammock. Now let me tell you, that hammock is amazing. And if you ever have the chance to go out and hammock camp, do it. 100% do it. I spent 3 hours just laying in this hammock, swaying in the breeze, and enjoying nothing. I literally did nothing for 3 hours. Although I did actually read my hammock book because I want to learn more and do more and see what I can figure out, and it's nice. So I'm sorry I do have a glare because my light is in the wrong spot. My hand keeps getting, the shadow keeps getting in the way. That's better. So when I first, I did look up a YouTube video. YouTube videos are amazing on how-tos. It's nice. I should have recorded my stupid ass trying to figure it out. It was funny. In any case, it wasn't terribly difficult. I'm glad that I got some tree straps before with the hammock because it does not have tree straps, and there was nothing to wrap around the trees, so I'm glad I did that. And even if they had tree straps, it's always nice to have extra just in case. So, I was very, very unsure if this would hold. I mean, a tree trunk straight and, wrap something around it. Shouldn't it slip right down? Kind of questions like that. And I learned it's not entirely like that, especially with the tree straps against the tree. It does dig into the bark slightly, but because the tree straps are made specifically to not damage the tree, it's nice. So I had it up a little high at first. I actually had it more belly button high than hip high. You're supposed to have it chair height, which is usually around your hips or so, where you can just sit down and scooch up. So it was easy to adjust. It wasn't terribly hard, and I'm just amazed at how I never thought of doing this ever. And I'm just like, why would I not do this? So after I got the hammock up, I very tentatively sat in the nest of the hammock. I don't really know what it's called. I'm going to call it a nest because that's what it looks like. And I heard a creaking and I nearly panicked, but it was just the tree straps settling in. And I am by no means fat. I will not say I am a fat person. I'm not a skinny person, but in no way am I a fat person. So I didn't expect to like fall right through, because it's the straps as well as the hammock itself has a 400-pound limit. So I think I'm good on that. Come on, there's a piece of hair. It's a Felix hair stuck to my painting. I should sue my cat for getting his hair all over my painting. And I can't even pick it up with tweezers. That's how freaking thin it is. So yeah, I almost panicked, but once it settled down, I was like, oh, nice, very nice. Yes, this is going to bother the crap out of me until I get it off. And I'm knocking you guys around, I'm sorry. So I'm sitting there, nice, and I lay down, and oh wow, it's like floating on air, kind of. I did feel a slight breeze on my underside, my back and my butt and my legs, but it was such a nice day out, it really didn't bother me. I was just noting that because I had also bought a underquilt, and I wanted to see the difference between not having it and having it, and I wasn't sure like how crucial it would be. So I laid there for about half an hour to see everything and feel everything. And while I laid there, a bird actually landed on my hammock. Yeah, I was about to swear. I was rather surprised, and and even when I moved, it didn't really get scared. It did move away though, because I did move, but it just moved to the ground, and I'm just like, wow. And now imagine being visited by birds in your hammock. Nice. So once I got that done, and once I finished up, my little experiment, I was like, okay, time to whip out this underquilt. I'm afraid, because I'm thinking it's gonna be complicated. I mean, the bag itself, the stuff bag, doesn't even have clips to it, like my sleeping bag and my inflatable whatever thing for laying on is. And I'm just like, so what do I do? So I'm just like, okay, all I had to do was loosen it. So that was stupid of me for not thinking that, but I did think it eventually. So I get the thing out of the bag, and it was amazingly uncomplicated. It was a quilt in the shape of a hammock, and all I had to do was clip it onto the tree straps and tuck my hammock inside, and that was it. It's all I had to do. I just like just laughing at myself still. So in that course of action, I continue my experiment by getting in my hammock. And this time I'm like, I'm gonna do this long time, because as soon as I get in and lay down, I could immediately feel the difference. The difference was everything was much warmer. I could actually feel the heat being kept in, my body heat being kept in and used by my body again, keep myself warm. And I'm just like, You know how everybody's like, oh, wool socks are the bomb? They are, I guarantee it. But you don't realize it until after your feet start sweating and after your feet get wet and stuff like that. Cotton will just suck it in and just squish it around. While wool socks, they will hold it in and they will just plain, they won't, it's hard to explain. But you can't tell right away until after. So, with the underquilt, I was extremely surprised that no, that's not it. There we go. I could tell the difference right away, like the difference of how I'd feel. And that's okay with me. I'm glad because I know it's doing its job now. So I laid there for 2.5 more hours because I did do a 3-hour stint there, and it's just like nice. It was so nice. And then packing it up, it was simple, very simple. The stuff sack for my hammock was already attached to it. The stuff sack for the quilt was not, but it wasn't too difficult to get it inside. And I did follow protocol where 2 straps with the carabiners, whatever, were on the outside, while the middle of the quilt is on the inside, so it's the middle stuffed in first. And then you have no choice but to stuff the middle of the hammock into its own thing first because it's attached. And that's just, you can't do it any other way, really. I mean, you can try and it'll just be a mess, but I'm not going to try. I'm going to keep my hammock for as long as I can. So the takedown was simple. It took me like 5 minutes. It took me longer to get it set up, mostly because I was still learning. But I think I can get it set up in less than 10 minutes next time. Easy. And as I was going home, I was spotting different areas where I could set my hammock up, just outside in general. And I'm just like all giddy and squealy. Yeah. I can get that way even though I'm not a girly girl. Before I set up my tent, I actually taught my son how to mow the lawn. And he did an absolutely awesome job. I did not have him do the whole thing because my brother was not helpful. He was actually up our butts the whole time because he apparently was supposed to be doing it today anyway. So I'm just like, well, I'll just let my son do a small portion and just give my brother the rest of the job so that he can stop bugging the crap out of us. But with that little portion, my kid did pretty darn good. And I think with practice, he'll get much better. And maybe he'll get some muscles for those flabby little arms he's got. But yeah, he did good. I'm trying to get him well-rounded and understanding the necessity to keep things neat and clean and stuff like that. It's nice to have things neat and clean. Unfortunately, he doesn't think it should be bothered with, and it's annoying. I know he's a boy. Boys are boys, so yeah, we're still working on that. I also called the bike shop to see how my bike was doing, and they said that tomorrow they should be getting to my bike and they should be giving me a call. And I'm just like, yay, super yay. I'm so happy about that because I miss my bike so much. It's just, it'll be awesome to be able to get it back because I want to ride my bike. And yesterday, while we were walking, my son's like, as I'm taking pictures of squirrels, because there's nothing but squirrels out right now, because they're all out of hibernation, they're all giddy and, squirrely. My son's like, if my acting career does not lift off, then I am going to be a nomad. I'm going to go all over the place and take pictures of animals, and sell them as postcards. And I'm like, buddy, that's as amazing as it is. Selling pictures as postcards is just a hobby for many people. It is not their lifelong dream. And he's like, yeah, I know, but I want to be able to get out and go places. I'm like, so why don't you ride a bike? And that'll be a lot easier. He's like, well, but then I can't look at anything. I go, well, you can. If you find a spot that you like, then you can stop and you can walk your bike. And he's like, oh, well, yeah. And I'm like, and you wouldn't have to carry a backpack because you could have your bike carry everything for you, because he'd have all his necessities in a backpack. And he's like, oh, that would be so much easier. And I'm like, you can also get further too. You can, get maybe 20 miles on a walk, while you can get probably 100 on a bicycle. So there's that. And then I'm like, you also have to like to be outdoors. He's like, I know, because this kid's kind of allergic to the outdoors. So we'll see how that one goes. I myself would love to be a nomad. If I could, I would, and I'd go for it as soon as possible, if and only if my son is able. But that's basically the reason why I haven't done a century ride on my bicycle, because my child hates riding his bike. I mean, I could do a whole 100 miles around and around and around my neighborhood over and over and over again. But does that sound pleasing? I don't think so. Not to me. It does not. I need a 907. There's only 2 A's. So I'd rather go out further and further. Yep, and everybody is going somewhere for Memorial Day, and we're stuck here. I so wish I could have gone camping this week. I really did. But it is what it is. Maybe if I can figure things out, I will see if my parents will let me camp out in their backyard. Because if all else fails, right? Oh, there's one stuck in. Who knows? We'll see. So with all of that, I'm it was a good end to the week. I'm super happy with how it's turned out. I mean, always being exhausted kind of sucks, but that is what it is, I guess. So I don't really have very many plans other than to get my bicycle back in my hands and see how well they tuned her up. I can't wait, because her spoke's been broken for almost 2 weeks before I sent her in. So And I'm super happy that I am finally on another section. And I'm sure Toothless's face, or at least part of his face, will be in this part. I'm not entirely sure. I will find out eventually. But it'll definitely be something. Definitely something. And I'm kind of excited about that. I cannot wait. And I am almost done with this. Good thing too, because I'm almost out of time. See if I can make it before time runs out. I mean, I don't think it'll run out because I'm actually using the YouTube app to record this. I don't know how well, like, if it'll record and then upload faster, I don't know. Or if it'll record more than 30 minutes and let you guys enjoy more than 30 minutes of my voice. Oh, wait, try to enjoy. I mean, who knows if you do or not. Oh, boy, almost done. Just to think, when this thing is entirely done, I cannot wait. I will love this. It's looking super amazing. So still got some trees on here, and it's like a little forest scene, kind of. Oh, come on. I especially like the log down at the bottom of the painting. That has some pretty nice details in it, and it just looks awesome. Almost done. Although, oh no, I might actually make it before the 25-minute mark. I've been playing with some of these to get them pulled apart. 2 more, 1, 2, check it out. Awesome. Alright, well that little section's done. It is a smaller section than normal, mostly because I've got a couple rips down the side, and it's easier to manage some of those rips if they're not so thin. Alright, so that is it for today. I hope to see you on Monday, dark and late-ish like it was today. Have a wonderful night and an awesome, amazing weekend. Enjoy the weather if it's nice, and scream at Mother Nature if it's not. Take care.